Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Kamo Motlashuping. If it is your first time here, hello, welcome. Please can you click on that little red subscribe button and make it great. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continuous support and for coming back to watch to get another video. As you can see from today's video, from the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to get through university, right? So these are a few things that have helped me get through university and a lot of people around me. I think it's a general things that have helped all of us get through university, right? So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is textbooks, right? So you do need your textbooks, guys, no matter who says what or how they say it. You really do need your textbooks, because that's where you get all the information that is required for your particular course, right? There are also additional materials that you need, but your textbooks are very, very important, because that's where your tests are like set from. Your lecturer also has the textbooks, so he or she also goes through the textbooks to check, okay, I find this piece interesting, let me ask that, right? So having a textbook is very, very important. If you don't have money to buy a physical textbook, buy a second-hand textbook. If you cannot buy a second-hand textbook, buy a if you can't get a second-hand textbook, buy a PDF textbook. Like, literally just get a textbook, any textbook. If you can't find your textbook on the internet, or you can't get second-hand textbooks, you can go to the library and just borrow the textbook. So you make it a habit that, okay, every week you go to the library to just ask for the textbook, so that you can like study and stuff, right? Yeah. And the second thing that you need is that you need your lecture slides, right? That is very important, because that's how your lecturers prepare, and that's what they want you guys to know mostly. So you do need your textbook, but the slides are also important, because sometimes they put something that's in the slides and they write NB, right? So that shows that this might be even in the exam, or they will say in the slides they'll put something in table format, whereas in the textbook it's an organogram. So then they will say in the exam, put this in table format when you study the organogram. So it's very important for you to have your slides and your textbook. So what you can do is that what I did was that I firstly go through my textbook so that I get what's going on. Okay, so I studied through I read through my textbook. Like, you read through your textbook. That's what I did, ne? My way. I would read through my textbook, get a general idea of what's going on. That's like, yeah. And then read my slides to see, okay, that's what they spoke about. Because lecturers also paraphrase the work in the slides. Okay, most of them, not all of them, but they also paraphrase the work in the slides. So when you do your assignments, you do know that you need to not to avoid plagiarism. So when you do look at your textbook, you know what you're saying. But when you look at the slides, the different type of language, or it's put in a different way. So now you get like two ideas, and you can just put it together and just write one thing. You get what I'm trying to say? The slides make it easier for you to understand the work, while the textbooks give you like a broader concept. Like, it gives you the full thing, and the slides give you a summary. Also, the slides are very important if you did not like study in advance. Let's say you're writing a test on Monday, and today's Sunday. It's 4 o'clock in the evening. How are you going to get through 700 pages of a textbook? You can't. You won't be able to do that. So if you are pressed for time and you do not know how to do it, I would highly recommend you going through the slides. It's better you knowing bits and pieces of every chapter than you knowing only one chapter, right? That's my advice. That's what I did. If I know I'm out of time, I've been procrastinating, now I don't have time to write, I don't have time to study, I would just read the slides to know, okay, this is what's happening in this chapter, this is what's happening in this chapter, this is what's happening in that chapter, right? You guys understood? So the first thing you need is you need your textbook, right? We spoke about that. No makanjani, get your textbooks. Don't listen to anyone saying, no, textbook are expensive, you don't need textbook, blah. They are lying to you. You need your textbooks. And then the second thing you need is that you need to have your slides. All your slides. Even if you just have them on your phone, you download them and put them on your phone, or you download them and you put them in a stick. You need your slides no matter what, alright? And then the third thing that I would like to talk about is preparing and pre-reading. That is very important. One thing about me is that I really am not okay. For the purpose of this video, I want to explain to you that I really didn't attend a lot of classes, because most of the classes were like online classes. So I could always catch up at some given time, but like I never attended a lot of classes. But what I did was that I pre-read what was meant for me to do. So pre-reading and preparing. So basically one thing that I did with my house that I prepared. I would know I will take my module guide. A module guide is basically that thing. I don't know if all, I think most universities have it. You have a module guide which shows you, okay, this is when you're writing a test, this is when you're writing what. So I will take my module guide. I would see, okay, I need to submit this way, and this week we'll be writing a test. And I will put that as a reminder on my phone, and I also write it in my diary, and I have like a calendar on my wall. So on that calendar I would write, okay, this week I have a financial management test, and then here I have a public relations test. You know, that's what I would always do. I would always know what's happening. That's like me preparing. And then I would always pre-read my assignments. Like when I get an assignment, I read it. I read through the questions. I read through, in this assignment you will be required to do da 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 da. That's what I always do. And I always prepare, you know. Even if I do my assignments last minute, which is one thing that I always did, I'm a big procrastinator, but I knew what I was getting myself into. I didn't just sit and then wake up and say, complete my assignment the day before, because then I don't know what's going on. But if I read my assignment, I actually know what's being asked from me, and when I'm just chilling at home, I can just go through my slides or search in the internet that particular question that I didn't understand well, you know. So when you read something beforehand, it stays in your brain, right? And then you can just go through it, or you can ask your friends, okay, well, now what did you do with this with that, right? So that's basically very important. I just want to put it in simple terms. The preparation part was basically me knowing when is what required, always knowing, like not doing things beforehand, but knowing when to do things, like, right? And then the pre-reading part is that I always read my assignments and stuff beforehand, and I always, like, when I was free, I would just go through my schoolwork, right? That's preparing, right? It's very important that you prepare and pre-read in every single module that you have, right? And then the fourth thing that you need to do to get through university is asking for consultations, right? This is very important. Your lecturers are there for a reason, right? Your lecturers are being paid to help you. If you don't understand something, don't only ask me. Don't only ask your classmates or someone who's finished. Ask your lecturers, because they know what they want you to know. So asking for consultations is very important. Attending consultations is very important. Doing tutorials is very, very, very important. Like, you need to do all those things. Those things are there to help you. If you don't understand something, go to your lecturer, ask them, ma'am, you know what, I did this. This is what I understand from it, but I don't think I have the proper idea. Or be like, ma'am, I've been trying to do this calculation and I don't know how to do it. Can you please just help me? They will help you. If you go there and you actually ask them, they will help you. And it also helps you with the marking, because they know that, okay, this person always asks. So it's all in a like thing, yeah. Like, they don't mark. They will obviously, they're not gonna give you extra marks, but they're not gonna go, because they know that you want to do your schoolwork. You are actively doing your schoolwork. So you get onto the, like, getting the nicer side. You switching them up. You right? Yeah. And then the fourth thing that you need to do is that you need to find a study method that works for you. We all don't study the same. If your friend studies through writing notes, and then when you just want to do it because you see your friend having a lot of notes, when you see your friends highlighting their page with different colors, it works for them. We are not the same. Some people like color, some people don't. For me personally, I don't like, okay, let me put it this way. I study in a very different way. I can't study on a page that has a line, like a page that has lines. I don't know how to explain it. I study on a clean white A4 paper with a pencil, not a pen, not a highlighter, just a pencil. That's how I study. That's how things work for me. That's what works for me. When you might want to study on a I don't even draw graphs. If it's a graph, I don't do that. I like things in words, and by words I won't write the whole sentence. If the sentence was YouTube is a digital video platform, I won't write that whole thing. I'm gonna write YouTube, I'm gonna write digital, and I'm going to have to remember that that's what works for me, right? I'm just showing an example that I have a friend that writes everything down. She will write everything down. She will do all the graphs. She will do all of those things. That's what works for her, but it won't work for me. You know, I like arrows. I like summarizing everything. I summarize the slides. That's how bad it is. That's how things would go inside my brains if I summarize everything. If you give me a summary and you say start with the summary, I'm going to summarize that summary. You understand? And then you get people that actually want things to be written down so that they can remember it. And you get people who are artistic, they study through drawings. You get people who study through making the page in half. That's the thing. I know of a lot of friends that say, you know what, I can't study in a full page, so they take the A4 page, like, you know, an A4, something like this, and they just fold it in half, and then they write this side, they write this side, they write in the middle. That's what works for them, and that's completely fine. You need to find a study method that works for you, not for your friend, not for me, but a method that works for you. Some people say the word out loud, like they teach themselves in a way. Some people have whiteboards. I'm talking about a lot of things, but you need to find a study method that works for you, not for anyone else. Not one that you like. You can see something and you feel like this might work for me, and then you do it. But find something that works for you and stick to it. Don't try any manga business because you see your friends are going outside. I can't study outside. I need to be on top of a desk with my pencil and my piece of paper and my laptop. I can't go outside, get a fresh air, different environment. That's not for me. Some people do that. Some people want that outdoors environment. That's, you know what I'm just trying to explain to you that do what works for you and stick to it, because you need to pass that course and you need to, you know, yeah, you get what I'm saying. And then the last thing that I want to talk about of how to get through university is to have friends. You need to have friends in every single module, in every single unit, in every single chapter of the modules that you have. This is basically, you need a helping hand. You can't do it alone. You need to have a study group. You need to have a study partner. Yeah, some assignments need you to be in groups. Some assignments need you to be in pairs. And by this, I mean, you shouldn't have one. Okay, I had one stable friend throughout my whole university life, like one friend. But we were not only it wasn't only the two of us from the get-go. We were 5. Obviously, some people fail, some people drop out, some people will do what. So what I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't only have one friend. You should have like 5 or 6 friends. And then by friends, I don't mean people you go out with. I just mean people who you study with, your study partners, people who you do group assignments with. And also have a stable group, assignment group. If you know, okay, I'm in a group with Kamo and Pete and Dorothy and that's what helps, because you guys all know now, get to understand each other, and doing assignments gets easier, right? So you get to do assignments in an easier way because you are like, okay, I know Kamo likes doing the intro, and she also likes doing the citations, and she also likes doing the graphs. If there's graphs, like, she likes doing that, so you give her that. Not like you having now to every single time group assignment you need to know different people, you look for different group, that's very tedious, and it doesn't work out because you're always fighting with the group members. So at least, you know, if you are fighting with people that you know, the fights get easier and you know how to deal with those people. Yeah, so basically having friends. And also one thing that you guys also need to understand, that is that when we're in university, we all make mistakes, so you need to be willing to forgive people, because we are all not perfect. When a friend lets you down or a group member lets you down, but they show remorse, they apologize, you need to forgive them. Forgiveness is very important, because you can't just cut someone out because they made one mistake, or because your friends are saying so. You need to be an individual that understands, you are not perfect, you are also human, and you also make mistakes. So will the next person, and we will never all see eye to eye or do the same things in the same way. I like doing my work in a particular way. My friend that I'm saying that I've been doing group assignments with her from first year, she likes doing things in a particular way, right? So we both had to compromise to find a middle point, right? So that's how I like. And obviously there were days where I would do her wrong, and there were days where she would do me wrong. We just have to forgive each other, because we are all human, we are all young. That part in university, in your 20s, that's when you start to develop as a person, to learn. You're gonna change your ways, I'm digressing, but I just need you to understand that you need to forgive your group members, you need to forgive your friends, you need to be understanding, you need to compromise, you need to negotiate. That's how you will actually make it through university, because if you keep on cutting everyone that does you wrong, you're gonna end up with no one. Right? I'm not saying if someone does you really, really dirty, forgive them, but like simple things like just forgive them, because you're there for 4 years, you need to leave. So the peace that you can keep, do it. If you can maintain peace just for 4 years, you can be 3 to 4 years, or 2. Some people it's 2 years, right? Depending on how many years is your qualification. Maintain that peace at all costs, because it's very important for you also, because if you cut all your friends off, you'll be lonely, you'll be alone, you'll go into a depressive state, you'll now, you won't be able to study because you're always sad. I digressed a lot, but I hope you guys understood what I meant. Yeah, that's all for me from me today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you guys did enjoy this video. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, like it, and also please comment down below one thing that you would recommend, or one method or something that you used to get through university, so that other students can still reach through it. And if you are a student and I missed something, please do say something that applies to you or you feel like is of importance from your side. Yeah, guys, also please do subscribe if you haven't, and also please share my video with people who you believe would be interested in such content. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.